a gay Japanese Mansfield Park with a splash of Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh, Yaoi review.
Today, I am going to go talk about Blue Morning, Volume 2 by Shoko Hidaka. I will read the back, then we will delve into it. I will serve you my entire life. In exchange, you bring the Ku's family to the rank of Count or higher. The young Viscount Akihito agrees to these conditions laid out by his butler, Katsuragi, who is thus forced into his arms. But no matter how deep their affair goes, Katsuragi's attitude towards him remains cold. Akihito is plunged into turmoil of fierce emotions, as frustrated by the unyielding distance, as he is driven to violent passions by his butler's cleverness and beauty. The situation reaches a breaking point when the master and servant are invited to the party by the Marquess Moriyama. This is rated 8M, or 18 plus. It is published by Sublime. Now, let's talk about the nitty-gritty. First, let's talk about the art. The art is relatively a decent, traditional kind of manga style. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of the late 80s, early 90s kind of drawing style for Japanese comics. That being said, it still feels fresh and new. It's not dated. It's a very gorgeous style and timeless for me. Story-wise and plot-wise, not much truly happens in Volume 2 of Blue Morning. It's a very slow running story, just like the romances of Pride and Prejudice and Mansfield Park. They are very slow running, but they are worth it in the end. Now, the Viscount Akihito, you see a character evolution with him, and we discover that he isn't just a spoiled brat, which he really is, but he evolves from what he was in Volume 1 into a more representative of an actual Viscount and someone of noble blood. With that being said, though, he is still under the delusions that he'll be able to get what he wants and have the title he deserves, or his family deserves, and it just isn't, for all intents and purposes, something has to fall apart. Either the romance he wants will die, or he'll have to give up his title, or another plot twist will have to happen where the butler, his love interest, will have to get a title. Now, Katsuragi, he also has a bit of a character arc. So far, we can see it starting to ramp up. He begins as the stoic kind of butler in the beginning, but then we see him slowly start having feelings for the Viscount, and it evolves into a tragic sort of romance where the Viscount and the butler are both fighting these urges. The butler, in particular, his drive is primarily to do as he's ordered by the original Ku's family Viscount, which would be the current Viscount's father, to bring the family up in rank. And he is doing his best, but the problem is his emotions are starting to mildly cloud his judgment. Like the back of the book said, though, all of that comes to a head when they go to the Marquess's party, and the Marquess reminds the current Viscount, Akihito, that he can never truly be with the man because of his low birth. And the butler, I can never remember his name either, Katsuragi, he has a lot of family turmoil, and a family member appears and rips him apart, and tries to throw very hurtful things at him that he already knew about, and it shows more of his family dynamic and how things work in that society at this point in time. I gave this 3 stars out of 5, purely because this one did feel like it was just a collection of cliffhangers, with one cliffhanger with somebody's background, another cliffhanger with friendships maybe falling apart, another cliffhanger with someone maybe marrying a geisha when she doesn't have any possible way of marrying him, and it becomes a whole bunch of cliffhangers that just, for me, right now, don't push the story along, but that is me saying that without having read Volume 3. Now, me not having read Volume 3, I do still think this is a good series. This one, though, I don't know how much it's going to impact the storyline. I did enjoy it because like I said, it is very similar to Mansfield Park and Pride and Prejudice in that it's very slow moving, but it's very obvious who's going to end up with whom, and more than likely how it's going to work out. Now, if you guys have questions or comments, shoot them down below. I always try to reply to everybody within 24 hours. Hit me a like, a favorite, subscribe, share this with your friends that you know like the Yaois, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Do you like what you see? Then...
Subscribe!